right? I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory, honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahawashi, Bashem Kakodash. Let me, Slaki. I want to give double honors to the apostles of GMS that rule of well, our beloved elders and teachers that rule of well that we learn from, and peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, to the saints, which are men, Hebrew Israelite men, and to the few Aqua tuning in, and to the Israelite foreigners that's tuning in. And this is going to be about grace, and pretty much laying back and off this whole situation about the new covenant. It seems like that old war demon is spreading. I want to say what a Grand Makamari, whatever the hell he was saying. It seems like that demon is spreading. And when you look at these two camps that are advocating we are underneath the new covenant already, because saying that, you're basically saying you don't need Yahawashi, and we're not we don't need saving, and we don't need new bodies, a new way, new life, and we don't need any redemption or help, since we're perfect, since we're underneath the new law, new covenant, Salaki. And when you look at the heads of those camps, they with General Yohana and whatever what I guess want to be called something else, Nate or General something, whatever, General Nate of IUIC, you can see their characteristics. You know, they want to be that person. They want to be the HNIC. You know, they want to be the top guy of Israel. They want to be worshipped. You know, they want that money and they want that stardom. Which, when you look at the scriptures, it tells you that can really deceive and blind men, being proud. So, going into this lesson, Lord's will you be edifying through Yahawashi Yahawashi. So it says, this is Romans 6 in the GMT. I'm going to read to verse, I want to say 15 or 16. I'm trying to make this quick. So, Romans 6 and 1. What shall we say then? Should we continue to live in sin so that Yahweh, Bashem Yahawashi, grace will increase? Because we understand we're underneath a grace period. You know, we yearn for the redemption of Yahawashi. Saying again, if we're underneath the new covenant, then we don't need Yahawashi. And saying that, you're blotting out what Yahawashi did, the importance of what Yahawashi did. So it says certainly not. We have died to sin. How then can we go on living in it? And one thing you have to know, this is why you have to read the scriptures and go into the law, and you'll see the things that the Lord is not pleased with. And the reason why America, mainly you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, the reason why you have become so evil and wicked, because everything in America is against the scriptures. And they play on your emotions. And you're triggered. And then you go on and doing more evil. But living through Yahawashi, you know how to, you know about order, discipline, and structure. And you know how to mortify that your flesh and not live by your flesh. So it says, for surely you know that when we were baptized into union with Hamashiach Yahawashi, we were baptized into union with his death. By our baptism, it is not by dipping in the water, it's by this truth, by this fire, this water, which is the scriptures. And when you understand the scriptures, Yahawashi was the only one that was worthy to open up the seals of the book. We were buried with him and shared his death, in order that just as Yahawashi was raised from death by the glorious power of the Father, so also we might live a new life. Not the new covenant, a new life, which we try to in this mortal bodies, the chains of darkness that we're in, going into I want to say Jude, the book of Jude. You know, we try to do what's right and what's pleasing while we're underneath the grace period. For since we have become one with him in dying as he did, in the same way we shall be one with him by being raised to life as he was. And we know that our old being has been put to death with Yahawashi, on his cross in order that the power of the sinful self might be destroyed, so that we should no longer be the slaves of sin, in which two-thirds are slaves to their desires, their flesh. For when we die, we are set free from the power of sin. Since we have died with Yahawashi, it doesn't mean we physically died, but this flesh. We believe that we will also live with him, for we know that Yahawashi has been raised from death and will never die again. And him being raised again was a very spiritual thing. Pretty much I let you know is we're going to be beamed up and pretty much given a new slate, just like Yahawashi was given a new body. Yahawashi was given a new body, and he was given pretty much a new way after he was risen up. The same thing's going to be with us. But that great significance of what Yahawashi did, showing that him when he physically died and he rose up again, that pretty much shows you how we're going to be as well. So that just lets you know right now, we didn't get that new covenant yet. We will ultimately get that in the kingdom. So it says, and so because he died, sin has no power over him, and now he lives his life in fellowship with Yahweh. In the same way you are to think of yourselves as dead, so far as sin is concerned. So pretty much he's letting you know a concept. So far as sin is concerned, but living in fellowship with Yahweh through Hamashiach Yahawashi. And since Yahawashi died, that flesh and that wickedness of ours died with it, and him being risen and him ultimately going to Yahweh being our mediator. We have to look at that as that. So we pretty much put the flesh to death, and now we're living in a new being, waiting for Yahawashi to come back so he can ultimately give us those new bodies and put us underneath that new covenant. And Yahweh is going to put that new inward man in us. So 12, sin must no longer rule in your mortal bodies, so that you obey the desires of your natural self. Nor must you surrender any part of yourself to sin to be used for wicked purposes. And me personally, one thing I really, and I even noticed this even when I was in the world, I was very naturist. They used to call me what the hell they used to call me? Yeah, it's funny. They used to call me Nature Boy, but not the one that was freaky and nasty. But I was very in tune with with nature. And one thing I realized, Jake, even growing up, Jake was never really into doing naturist things. And even still to this day, you see a lot of Edomites that go hiking, biking, go on the trails, fish, boat, have animals, horses, and just try to be in tune with nature, garden, planning, construction, trying to learn, be skillful with their hands, bowing, arrowing, and things like that. You don't really see Jake into that. And it's like, for instance, all majority of the women, black women, Latina, Hispanic women here in America, all they know is the club. All they know is social media. Back in the day, women were more so in tune with the world, or not the world, but nature as well. Women used to sew, know how to cook. Their hands were very skillful. But now, all these women know how to do is really just go to the club. And that's why, in this modern day of time, the club is one of the worst places to go get a broad. So, going on. Nor must you surrender any part of yourself to sin to be used for wicked purposes. Instead, give yourselves to Yahweh as those who have been brought from death to life. Going to Baruch, the 4th chapter, and surrender your whole being to Him to be used for righteous purposes. Sin must not be your master, for you do not live under the law, but under Yahweh's grace. See that? So in this time that we're living in grace. 15, what then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under Yahweh's grace? By no means. Surely you know that when you surrender yourselves as slaves to obey someone, you are in fact the slaves of the master you obey, either of sin, which results in death, or of obedience, which results in being put right with Yahweh. And that's pretty much it on that one. Damn. Matter of fact, I'm going to start from the one on here. This is Ephesians 2. And I'm going to go to verse 10. So, Ephesians 2 and 1. In the past, you were spiritually dead because of your disobedience and sins. When we were born in this place, we were corrupt. And we were born in a wicked society. Very corrupt. Evil. And it tells you how, it was prophesied in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, how this empire that we see that we're in today was going to be created. And then you go to the book of Revelation, it tells you how Esau was going to rule with a sword and take peace from the earth. What is it? That red horse, he was given a power to take peace from the earth. And we're living in that. There's no peace here. Nothing but chaos and destruction and confusion. From death to life, this is in the GMT. So Ephesians 2 and 1, in the past you were spiritually dead because of your disobedience and sins. At that time you followed the world's evil way. You obeyed the ruler of the spiritual powers in space, which we understand is in the heavens, who's ruling right now, the so-called white man, the biblical Edomites. The spirit who now controls the people who disobey Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Actually, all of us were like them and lived according to our natural desires. That's the flesh, because we were taught, the flesh. Doing whatever suited the wishes of our own bodies and minds. And that's why Jake is tossed to and fro and it changed like the wind. The scripture says anybody that chase their dreams, something roughly paraphrasing, it's like somebody chasing the wind. And every day your emotions and desires change. And that's what wickedness and that's what the flesh does. So again, if anybody doesn't have discipline and control over this flesh, you're basically chasing the wind. You can never chase the wind. And this is why Jake is all over the place and looks stupid and tacky and dusty. So, and live according to our natural desires, doing whatever suited the wishes of our own bodies and minds. In our natural condition, we, like everyone else, were destined to suffer Yahweh's anger. But Yahweh's mercy is so abundant and His love for us is so great that while we were spiritually dead in our disobedience, He brought us life to life with Yahawashi. So again, He redeemed us by the blood of Yahawashi. He didn't say, "Oh yeah, after Yahawashi died, I'm gonna make them perfect and new, and I'm gonna give them that new covenant, and I'm gonna be with my people totally." Nah, He didn't say that, because if that happened, then that's saying we don't need Yahawashi. It is by Yahweh's grace that you have been saved. In our union with Hamashiach Yahawashi, He raised us up with Him to rule with Him in the heavenly world. See that? So in the world that's going to come, that's when we're going to get the new covenant and we're going to be perfect. He did this to demonstrate for all time to come the extraordinary greatness, going into Revelation the 21st chapter, of His grace and the love He showed us in Hamashiach Yahawashi. For it is by Yahweh's grace that you have been saved through faith. It is not the result of your own efforts, but you see that? But Yahweh's gift, so that no one can boast about it. Yahweh has made us what we are, and in our union with Hamashiach Yahawashi, He has created us for a life of good deeds, which He has already prepared for us to do. See that? So, 2 Corinthians 12 and 9, and He said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. And this is Paul speaking. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities. So, and we have many. And it says that the power of Yahawashi may rest upon me. And so basically saying you're perfect, you're not going off. If you're saying we're in a new covenant now, that's basically said, like Sakrabi said, total war. Nigga say he don't die. But basically you say you're not gonna die. You know? And you get what I'm saying. That means demons aren't plaguing you. That means you don't get sick. You know, that basically means, you know, you already know that you're saved. You basically speaking like a Christian. I know I'm saved. Because that's the Christians' their focal point. I know I'm saved. So it says that the power of Yahawashi may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Yahawashi's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I am become a fool in glorifying. See that? So we'll again. I think in Sirach 43, correct me if I'm wrong, or Sirach 40, it tells you that every man that's born upon the earth has distress. James 4 and 6. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. And that's why you see, IUIC and ISUPK, those guys, you can just see it, man. They're dwindling down the drain. Romans 5 and 8. But Yahweh commendeth his love towards us, in that we were yet sinners, Yahawashi died for us. See that? Hebrews 4 and 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. And we are in the time of need because Esau, it tells you how, he's going to become like a madman and basically come against us, Jacob's trouble, the object that Esau wants to put in us. And everybody's hollering about oppression. You see that Esau wants a new world order set up, his kingdom set up. And that shows you, we're in a time of need. So how the hell you talking about you in a new covenant, and look what's coming down the drain? It tells you the dragon is going to be wroth with the woman. Who's the woman? Israel, the elect. So we are in a time of need. Romans 3 and 24, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption, and that was the redemption, bringing us back close to Yahweh. Yahawashi being that mediator, the ultimate sacrifice. So through grace, and that's why we hope, we contend, we defend, and we're like Nehemiah. We contend, we defend, we lay our lives down, and we do what's how you say it? What's the word I'm looking for? We mortify our members, and we do what's pleasing to Yahawashi. This is the last one. 2 Peter 3 and 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. And, these other camps and doctrines is changing left and right. It's like Nate, he basically doesn't teach the name Yahawashi. He doesn't teach Yahawashi. And but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance, man. So as a lot of men is changing, changing up their doctrine, looking more despicable and pathetic as the day go on. We're looking more, sharper and becoming more better because we understand, we're underneath grace. And we know what's pleasing to Yahawashi and Yahawashi. And we know we're not perfect. And we know we need that new covenant. And we need Yahawashi to come back and redeem us. But Lord's will you was edified. With that, shalom.